Assalamu alaikum, my friends. My name is Canyon Mims. I am a 20-year-old Muslim revert. I've been a Muslim for about 10 months now, and today I'm going to go through my camera roll of the photos I took while I was in Mecca, and I'm going to react to them and share the story behind each photo. Let's go ahead and start with it. So if I pull up the first photo right here, it's us in the airplane on our way to Mecca. We were leaving from Saudi. That's where we were living at the time. So you can see beautiful city. I absolutely love being in Saudi. It's incredibly beautiful. And yeah, so that's us leaving. And then right as we got to the airport, obviously the first thing we had to do was change into our sheets. I'm always spacing the name of the sheets you wear when you go on Umrah. I'm just spacing it. I don't remember the name. But that right there is the first photo I ever took while wearing them. And I'll tell you, it was a very weird feeling, right? Coming from living in America my entire life, in a small town in North Idaho is where I grew up. And then I was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and changing into these white sheets with no other clothes. It was a very weird feeling, but I mean, look at the smile, right? Clearly I was enjoying it. And then there is the photo of me in the airplane wearing the sheets. That was a really beautiful plane ride, because my friend, luckily, who was a really good Muslim, was kind of guiding me and explains, right, like, you don't sit on your phone and like watch TV or something while you're going there, right? You're focused on Allah. You start pilgrimage immediately as you head there. It's not when you get to Mecca. So really enjoyed that experience, really enjoyed that plane ride. And then you can see we landed in the airport, and then that's a picture of, they've got that super nice like F1 car or something right in the airport. And then they've got the giant fish tank. I have to tell you, that is the coolest fish tank that I have seen in my entire life. If you haven't seen it, it's probably a 30-foot fish tank that's got like miniature manta rays in there, a bunch of fish going in circles, a giant coral spiral reef. I don't know why I'm describing it. You can see the photo, but you get the point. It's very beautiful. So it's a great first impression of what you get to see. And then I don't have a photo for it, but obviously we drove for like an hour and a half to get from where we landed, and I think Jeddah, to actually get to Mecca. And one thing I wish I had a photo of that I don't was what looks like an open Quran, right? And it's like the gate of when you actually enter Mecca. I don't have a picture of that, but that was really beautiful to see. Let's move on to the next photo. SubhanAllah, look at that. That is a picture from within 10 minutes of me seeing the Kaaba for the first time. This is taken from my phone, and I think this was after we had actually started going around the Kaaba, and then it was time to pray. I think that's when I took this photo. But subhanAllah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And then here is after we performed Umrah, and this is a picture of looking at the mosque from the outside. Something that I found that was super interesting is how much they're building on that mosque and how big it's getting. My friend told me, he's like, it's been a year since I performed Umrah and the mosque is like double the size. So I plan, inshallah, going back and doing Umrah again this Ramadan, and I guarantee you it's gonna be even bigger than what it was this time. So that was something really cool, is how beautiful the marble is. Like, it's marble floors everywhere, marble walls everywhere, and then the fact that it's just constantly growing, like, you're going to see how much work is being put in into just making it incredibly beautiful. One thing this reminds me of, I have nothing that backs this, I have no idea if this is true or not, but someone was telling me, when you look at the very front of the entrance to the mosque, it's as close as we can conceptualize of what the gates of Jannah will look like. So that was cool. That was something that I remember. Here's a picture going into the clock tower. That's insane. Also, another thing that I've heard, once again, I don't have anything that backs this. I could be wrong. I didn't look this up. But I heard that the clock tower is kind of like a sign of the end of times, right? Because the shadow actually shadows over the Kaaba. So as much as that's true, it's still very beautiful and a really amazing piece of architecture, if I'm being honest. And I personally love architecture. I'm personally a huge fan of architecture. So seeing the clock tower is super beautiful as well. Let's check the next one. I think it's a couple photos. Yeah, like, look at that. That was taken at night. Probably about 9 p.m. this photo was taken. And when you're walking up the hill and you're going to, before you kind of enter the main area where the Kaaba is there, all the stores are over here and the clock tower is right here, that's what you see. It's super beautiful. And if you check, I'm gonna zoom in on my end. If you check the very top of the clock tower where the crescent is, during call to prayer, that crescent actually glows green. And that's something that's like super beautiful. Yeah, when I look at this, like, it's an amazing piece of architecture. Another really interesting thing is actually in that crescent, I'm not sure if it's a mosque, but you can get in there and you can look over all of Mecca from inside the crescent, but you have to, I don't know, be royalty or have the right connections to get in there. We were not able to get in there. And then here's another photo. This is from our hotel where we were staying, and that's a photo of the clock tower from the hotel. Yeah, it's beautiful. And the buildings, even like the buildings that they're kind of generic, right? There's nothing special to them. It's a certain type of energy that I really like. When you stand on the marble and you've got the Kaaba over here, the mosque, it's like you're completely protected from the outside world because there's buildings on a 360-degree angle completely cutting off everything, right? So you can't look straight. You're gonna see a building. And honestly, it kind of felt like you're in your own little paradise almost, because you're not seeing the outside world, right? It's like a time almost stops. Like the outside world stops existing while you're there. It's almost like it's just this own little planet. That was something I loved because I cut off all phone, everything. Like I was just fully there. Let me correct myself. I cut off all working phones. So I have a couple phones. This phone has photos on it. There's nothing else that it does. So nobody could contact me. All I had was a phone to take photos, and that was it. And I really got to enjoy the peace of like, there's nothing, nobody can reach out to me. It's me, it's my prayers, it's my Quran, it's my books, and being completely surrounded by all the buildings kind of added into that. It was a really awesome experience. Let's check the next photo. There's me in front of the clock tower. You see what I'm saying? How like the buildings like fully surrounded. Look how massive those are. So there's me in my, now the name's coming to mind. Is it Iram? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe I'm pronouncing that right. Got my bag, got my sandals. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, those sandals were the most painful sandals ever. I wore them a whole day and my feet were killing me for a week. Brutal. Next time I go, I am gonna actually buy some nice sandals, inshallah, and I'll be prepared. But I really like this photo. And you know, here's the thing. If I showed this photo to, say, some of the people who went to high school with me back in America, they'd be like, what? Like, that looks so weird, looks out of place, right? But for me, oh my gosh, just looking at this photo reminds me of how comfortable I was. Like, I actually never felt that peaceful in my entire life. Then just like after my head was shaved, I'm in the sheets, and I'm just there, right? There's nothing else. There's nothing else with me. It's just me, my friends, and that. And oh my gosh, I know, lack of words, so peaceful, absolutely peaceful. I completely loved it. And then that's a photo of right after I got my haircut. Oh my gosh. So I had long hair all of my childhood, like really long hair. I'd rock hair down to here. And then this is the first time that I ever had a shaved head. And look at this photo. You know when they say Noor? Like when I see this, I see Noor. I see light. Maybe it's just my big shiny head. But in all seriousness, like when I look at this photo, I look so peaceful. And an interesting side note that I'll tell you is I almost didn't go on Umrah because we were in the process of scaling our company, and it was a very kind of volatile area of the company where it's like, it was a make or break situation. And I remember my friend said, he's like, when Allah calls you, you go, right? The company is not more important than this. So we went, and we kind of just like didn't even pay attention to the business for 10 days. And I wasn't even stressing about it. Like I wasn't even worried about it. I wasn't even thinking about it. When this photo was taken, I was just completely in the moment, experiencing everything. And one thing here is I was kind of ignorant, right? Like I'm not incredibly educated on Islam in this photo, and I'm still learning. I'm not a scholar. I'm not the person to get Islamic knowledge from, right? I'm just showing you my experiences. But to me, for my first Umrah, I actually really liked that because I was so fresh to everything, and I really got to see everything from the first perspective. Everything was new. Everything was a learning experience, right? Like I didn't know everything. And my friend being a really experienced Muslim who's really on his deen, and him just leading me through the entire thing, I think honestly really led to it being one of the best experiences ever. Check the next one. Okay, and that's actually me in the process of getting the haircut. You know the feeling when they're like cutting your hair because it's a little razor? Feels so good. Absolutely amazing feeling. Okay, next photo. It's a photo of me in front of the Kaaba. Look at that. SubhanAllah. So I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah, once again, look at the Noor on my face, and it's not the shiny bald head this time. Amazing, beautiful. I love this photo. This photo is actually up on my Instagram. One of my favorite photos that I have, and I really love it. And this was after we completed it, and yeah, man, this is like 10 minutes before we got our haircut. Truly beautiful. Okay, and then this photo is from a new day. This is actually walking into the Sky Mosque. Something that's so beautiful and so amazing is two of the hotels. There's a bridge between the hotels, and there's a mosque in the bridge, and you're suspended above the entire area, and you can actually look over and you can see the Kaaba. You can look directly at the Kaaba, and you are like completely suspended, and you can see on two angles 180, so it's a 360 pretty much of all of Mecca. Super beautiful, and honestly, if you haven't done that and you were on pilgrimage, you gotta do that next time. And for everybody who has not been on Umrah, I totally recommend doing that, and inshallah you guys all get invited. But that was awesome. And also, it's, you know, another side note, I love the carpets in Islamic countries. They're just always so beautiful, and they're always so peaceful. Just all the buildings, all the architecture is so peaceful. Here's a photo of me in the Sky Mosque. Look at that smile. It makes me so happy looking at this photo. And this is the same hat in that photo. Maybe I need to wash this hat though, now that I think about it. Prayer cap. And little story about this, it took me like 5 hours to find this hat. I spent so long trying to find this specific hat in the clock tower, but I was there at like 3 in the morning when everything was closed. So I ended up walking around till 7 or 6 in the morning when it opened. And then I ended up haggling with a guy, and I think still got completely overcharged for this hat. I think I spent $20 on it. And then I was walking down the street and someone was selling the same hat for $1. But it's besides the point. It's a blessed hat. It's from Mecca, and I love it. And that's why I wear it in these videos, because it's nothing in like where it's actually Islamic, right? Like you don't need to wear the hat. But I like this. Sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable to wear the hat. But I wear it because it reminds me of my time in the Middle East, right? Because I was in Pakistan for 3 months, I was in Riyadh for 2 months, and then I was in Mecca and Medina for 10 days. So it kind of just reminds me of that, because that was, I wouldn't say my deen was better then, but I had less distractions. Right now I'm in the UK, right? I haven't been to the mosque as much as I'd like to. So it just kind of reminds me of like when I was in the mosque, 5 daily prayers in the mosque, right? When I was in Pakistan. So it's a good reminder. And then here's another photo. This photo was actually taken, oh my gosh, I'm just like, look at my skin. My skin looks so healthy. It's incredible. That was something I did notice. My parents actually noticed that too. We were having a phone call, a video chat. And they're like, your skin is just so glowing. I'm like, yeah, inshallah, they find Islam and they're guided. Best thing that I can do is set the best example to be a good Muslim. But this photo was taken before I ended up getting on one of the buses and going out and spending a day by myself, just there in the mosque with my little bag and with my Quran and with my prayer mat. This is where that was. You know, this photo reminds me of another thing that's really sad, is my friend's mom got me a custom prayer mat that had my name in Arabic engraved on it, and then it was turquoise, and turquoise is my favorite color. And I ended up forgetting it in the mosque, and I came back and I couldn't find it. That's gotta be the saddest thing from this entire journey. It makes me really sad thinking about it. When I go back, I want to get the exact same prayer mat, because there's people, I think it's in the clock tower, who will do it. They've got like these kind of basic prayer mats, and then they can engrave with like, and like burn marks into it, so they can like put your name or something. But that's what this photo was, yeah. And then here is the photo after I tried camel meat for the first time. And the guy right next to me, who's super short, he actually owns a kind of shop in Mecca, like one of those little shops, and sells stuff. And he's the one who gave me my like prayer beads that I have. And he is a golden retriever in human form. Oh my gosh, may Allah bless that man. He has such amazing energy. We don't speak the same language, and I spent 2 days with this guy. And he was such a delight to be with, and I enjoyed spending my time with him. Once again, look at that smile. Oh my gosh. I haven't, for context, I haven't looked at these photos in maybe months. That smile makes me so happy. What I cannot wait more than anything is I've got a business partner who I didn't know while this photo was taken. We've been business partners for maybe 5 months now. He's also a Muslim, and he's also about the same age as me. He's a born Muslim. And we want to do Umrah together this year, and I cannot wait for it. Oh my gosh, I want to do Umrah. I want to unplug from everything. I don't want to worry about anything. Maybe vlog so you guys can see it while I'm there, but like not actually be connected to the internet, because it makes me so happy looking at this, because you know there was nothing there. It's just straight peace. That's what it is. And so yeah, this photo was taken after we had a night out, right? A halal night out. We went and drove around, we talked, we got camel meat, we all sat down. That was my first like real authentic Saudi dining experience. Truly an amazing time. Look at that photo. I think that was my best friend's mom was wearing that to keep her shaded, and it like goes on your head, and it's a little umbrella. I remember seeing people in this. Hilarious. This has got to be one of the best photos. I feel like I'm just hitting a dead drum, or whatever that saying is. Look at that smile. Look at the Noor. Look how happy I look. You know what would be interesting? See how I started this video and see my energy now. Like the amount that I'm smiling, and like I guess my happiness levels of something have just completely increased the more and more that I've looked at these photos. Like I am just so excited to go back now. That's all I can think about. But this has got to be one of the most iconic egghead photos that I have. My bald head and an umbrella on my head. Classic. This photo will go down in all-time history. Okay, this is a really good photo. So this is inside that sky mosque that I was telling you about. It's in that outfit. I got the hat on. And then that is one of the Qurans in there. Oh, beautiful. And then out overlooking, it doesn't show it, but I believe if the camera panned to the right a little bit more, you would be able to see the mosque. Yeah, so that's where that photo was taken. And then here's a photo inside the mosque. And this is what I mean by, it's so peaceful. I don't even have words for that. Just look at this architecture. Look at this building. SubhanAllah, it is so beautiful. And that has to be one of my favorite things about living in Islamic countries, is checking out the mosques and just how they make it seem, the experience of how the building is made makes you feel at home. Like I've been in a lot of churches and there's nothing to it, it doesn't feel anything. But when you walk into a mosque, it feels homey, right? It feels warm, it feels inviting, it feels open, it feels friendly. Yeah, this is a picture of inside the mosque in Mecca. Truly beautiful. And then here is a picture of on top of the mosque. Side note, to get on top of the mosque, you have to kind of find these stairs that take you up there. I probably spent hours trying to find the stairs that actually put you on the top of the mosque. I don't know why I wanted to go up there. I'm not sure what it was, but there is something. Maybe it's the fact when you're on the top, you can see all the buildings around you at night and it looks really cool. And then they've got these, which I'm not sure what they are. It's not a minaret. I don't know if you know what that is. But whatever it is, there's a bunch of them on the top of the mosque, and I don't think there's anything inside it. But at nighttime, as the young kids would say, that's a vibe, because it's not cold, right? I can be in just my thobe. By the way, that turquoise S thobe I was showing you, my friend got that tailored for me when I was in Pakistan. Side note, but you can be in just a thobe or maybe like a super light jacket, and it's the perfect temperature at night being on the top of the mosque. So truly beautiful. And that is the last photo I have from the photos that I took while I was in Mecca. I hope you got to enjoy that. My goal with this YouTube channel is to be as authentic to who I am. I don't intend to teach about certain things. I'm going to share my experiences. Hopefully my experiences maybe help you or give you some joy, make your day a little bit better. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, if you want to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. It helps support me. And then if you want to like it so other people can see this and other people can see the content, I would really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.